But the Brute is already a prophet before this Nature's Prophet. It's one of those few heroes that an NP can't actually, TP in the lane on and just bully out. She also responds to his map pressure very well. So this is one of the heroes that NP just doesn't enjoy playing against at all.
Yeah, but the first two picks from XERXIA kind of are showing us that this is going to be a carry Nature's Prophet. I mean, we all know Karma can play it, but LC has usually been the Broodmother counter. Even now with the Silken Bolo, you can remove that one. So do you think there's maybe any chances of us seeing a safe lane LC?
I mean, I'd love to see it, especially if they make sure that it's still not actually getting like the farm priority. The problem is, of course, like how are you going to open up the map without rotating your offlaner in, or your offlaner in this case? Do you know what? You have an NP. If the NP can find a good lane elsewhere, I think it's extremely viable.
Yep, that
The
is.
Broodmother is going to be super frustrated. You just stick your LC on bot, and she's going to get fat on little spiders. I like that idea. Nothing but wins.
Yeah, that'll be very fun to see, but we'll see if that does happen later on down the draft. Of course, we might only find out after the laning stage has started, but we're probably going to be seeing this LC against the Brood at some point in the game. Polaris will go for a Snapfire. They already have a Rubik. These have been the two very popular supports in the current meta across all regions. Snapfire would be aggressive in the lane with the Broodmother. Rubik would be protecting the Brood. Which one do you prefer? Basically, would you rather this Brood be going on a eating spree in the lane already, or do you want it to be a bit defensive before the level 6?
I think at this point you're going to have to be looking at it. If this is a Primal Beast mid, for example, like you're going to need somebody to actually protect your Brood from the Primal Beast rotation. Maybe your Rubik can TP in, of course, but this is gonna be rough. So probably the defensive Rubik at this point. But yeah, and then you use the Snapfire to clear out, for example, an offline Nature's Prophet. Puck. Yes,
Okay.
good pick versus the NP again. Good pick versus the Primal as well. Of course, you lack damage to take him down currently, but it's good to hold people in for the Snapfire ult, etc. I'm concerned. Yeah, I like it, but I'm concerned that they're focusing a lot of effort on this NP who can still turn out to be a support. Like we don't see it a lot right now, but it's entirely possible that XERXIA say, if I keep on counterpicking this, we like that. We're just going to pick something that can stand its ground and fight right now.
That is true.
Support Prophet.
That is true. Or, shove it in the off lane. Who cares? Just get an Aghanim Scepter. It's still going to be a worthy item. We are going to see a Techies. This has been something I've seen a lot of in this season, casting Eastern Europe, because every single position 4 plays it there. It's a great hero to combo with an LC. We might see a lot of dual wins just because that one can be good against the puck. And the Tiny comes out. This is looking like a position. I mean, I would lane it Tiny Nature's Prophet, Techies LC, and Primal Beast mid, or Tiny mid, Primal Beast Nature's Prophet, Techies LC. But the thing is, I don't really know. Are we gonna see a safe lane support Primal Beast or a safe lane support Tiny? Is that something you'd like to see?
I usually think that that's a little bit of a waste. Especially with the Primal, you want to get levels at some point, you want to be taking that mid lane. But the same goes for Techies support, right? Because you're going to, Tiny support, you're going to need that Blink Dagger to come in at a reasonable timing. At least the Primal does not need that. It really all depends on what Polaris picks last year. We have the Tiny for a possible winning matchup versus the mid as well. There's so much flexibility over on XERXIA, and this is one of the reasons that Polaris is now going to take a lot of time looking through all the scenarios, because all that mental gymnastics that you just did, okay, Tiny support, Primal Beast support, who's going with the NP, wait, is the NP still a support? All we know at this point is that the Techies, and they're going into the CK.
I was thinking first Illusions, then I saw the LC and no.
Yeah.
But CK is a bit different. other illusion-based heroes, isn't he? Because you don't really know where he's coming from. He's a burst damage dealer, other than other illusion heroes who are pretty much just constant damage output. So I'm okay with it. It's not a bad pick, though. This one on the side of XERXIA does seem more interesting to me.
They certainly have the more interesting idea, but yeah, they do stick with the Nature's Prophet, who is now facing both the Puck as well as the CK as matchups that, can hold him in place, can burst him down. So the rest of it actually need to play towards Nature's Prophet sometimes to somewhat protect him, because otherwise you've been counterpicked pretty hard here. I'm not sure if Karma can play his usual game. Like, of course, his usual game is rather good, so even if he gets caught a couple of times, it'll still be fine for him. But XERXIA has the more interesting draft, but the Nature's Prophet feels a little fragile to me in this game.
That is true. I'm looking at it and I'm thinking this is a 5 LC. How do you feel about that one? Is that just straight up against the Brood? They picked it after the Brood, so they must have an idea of how to utilize it.
Yeah, I guess it's just a support for the Brood lane, and as you said, you'll use the Purge to take off Tola.
We'll see if he can utilize it properly, though. I'm still not 100% certain about this one. We've seen it work in the past. Yeah, we've seen it work in the past, but we've also seen it fall flat on its face in the past. As you mentioned, Polaris are probably coming in as the favorites, considering that they beat XERXIA just a couple of days ago. So I'm gonna be sticking with them. I think their lineup is much easier to play. Broodmother creates space on one side of the map. You have a Puck who uses his coil with the Mortimer's Kisses. Pretty much anyone dies. So I like it. And also, every single time I see a Tiny in the mid lane without a single vision hero, I feel like it just doesn't do much. So I'm thinking Polaris just need to play fast here, catch the NP. As you mentioned, he has been countered, and that's pretty much gonna give them all the things they need. And they're also pretty tanky on their heroes, right? Puck is hard to catch. Rubik is the only real target for the Tiny to kind of farm for his bonus items. So I'm really in Polaris in this game one for sure.
And I absolutely back you there. The thing set up the Tiny without the vision is 100% on. You eventually get some vision out of a Techies, right? Techies is going to play up, Techies is going to get info from his mines, but that takes a while. And up until that point, they're going to just run in and see if they can catch people. But they have powering heroes for that, right? They got the Techies with the Sticky Bomb. They are going to have an LC with a Purge, which always feels good to have at your back. But it's not like an Abaddon, the Purge is the only thing. You don't get some extra heals out of it.
Yeah, it really is the case. If Jaja doesn't do really well in this top lane, I'm gonna say that this is a wasted pick. Like, he needs to really crush it for it to make sense.
Well, who knows? Perhaps he does. I'd be excited to see it work. Always looking forward to seeing actual support counters for the Brood.
I definitely can do something. We'll see just how much. We can talk a little bit about the other side lane as well. So Techies and a Primal Beast. This seems like a strong lane. A lot of damage, a lot of potential. Do you see the CK being aggressive here, or is it gonna be more of a defensive lane for Polaris?
With the CK, it's always about the in, out, in. I mean, in some way, he needs to keep on trading in order to keep his HP up with the Chaos Strike, and Rupido on this Primal Beast is certainly going to punish that. But he does have the cookie to get in or out of trouble. Like, I'd say they roughly have the same amount of playmaking on sides here. Polaris have the hard stuff, but the Techies, of course, brings the damage. And I think the difference might be made here by the fact that Rupido can clear waves and can decide when he wants to shove the wave in versus backing off, maybe joining on killing the support. And there is really no such choice for the CK. He's just going to have to deal with what he gets as far as the wave is concerned, unless CML helps him clear it out.
We'll see if they can go forward. Techies, of course, is going to be super annoying here. That is what the hero does with 700 range. The highest range hero in the game. Very, very nasty and hard to deal with at any parts of the game, actually. But I have to say, I think the Techies pick with the LC going on on position 5 might be a bit wasted, you know, because in Eastern Europe I always see the techies because everyone is so confident on it. In Southeast Asia it doesn't come out that often, so I was like, okay, you have an LC, you need burst damage, techies is great, but now it's you already have a ton of burst, so you're just doubling down on something, and if a fight starts where you're not getting a kill, it's gonna be really catastrophic for XERXIA.
Yep, absolutely, and it's... What are you gonna get out of Jewel without burst damage to follow it up in your team? Like, you have the Tiny, that's it. If the Tiny can't reach you, or if you can't reach the Tiny's target, then Jewel's lockdown is always going to be so dangerous for you.
That is the case, but I guess if you do catch the puck, it might go well, given that this is a squishy hero. Speaking of, he's in the mid against the Tiny, and the Tiny is winning the lane. No surprise there, and this is kind of the matchup that the puck doesn't like. Probably one of the reasons that XERXIA did pick a Tiny, who I have to say, Southeast Asia Tiny players have always been the most impressive to me. They're kind of fun to watch. They have pretty weird moving patterns that usually do end up pretty well for the team. We talked about it, he doesn't have vision, but you know, he still knows what he's doing.
Yep. And he's got all of the leverage in the world here. Any side lane that he rotates on, any other hero that he rotates towards, they have disables for him. They have still the skills. If Polaris gets out of position, then a Tiny that comes in, especially with a good rune, is always going to get a kill.
Yep, and we are seeing he's continuing to do well in the mid lane. Mac is keeping up with the puck, so it is not that big of a difference. Meanwhile, top lane, Karma is taking a ton of damage. Bok is not playing around. The insatiable hunger, just the very high amount of damage coming out from the Brood. 2 Wraith bans already. This Brood already doesn't take any damage. The top lane isn't going well. Jaja not really swinging it into XERXIA's favor here, at least not so far.
Definitely not, and we're going to be looking at a big level difference here between the Polaris side and the XERXIA side as well. Bok is going to hit level 4 way before Karma, and that's danger really starts to come in.
It definitely does.
But he already missed out on rune.
Yep, Mac got that one. Actually, he might take a lot of damage. He is. Okay, gonna be losing his courier. JG was focusing on that one. It's gonna be the techies taking the bottom rune, so in the end, Puck doesn't get anything, and yep, it is gonna be the first blood. Karma does go down. Jing finishes him off. The second you leave your Nature's Prophet alone, this is kind of what you should be expecting. At least, I guess they got the rune of the puck, right?
That's exactly the thing, right? Jaja has too many hats here. He his location by going for rune because nobody can come out of the bot lane right now because there's...
It's just not looking great here in the top lane for the Nature's Prophet. Only 14 CS thus far. Meanwhile, there are some fighting here in between Bombi and CML. In the end, Bombi is gonna leave that one, and JG is being very aggressive on the puck into the mid lane. That rune actually, you know, you might have given the first blood, but it does give this mid lane in favor of the Tiny. Look at it, the whole creep wave will go away for the puck. We seem to have lost Kips for the moment, but she's gonna be coming back. Oh, there.
I think I'm here, but the server kicked me out for a bit. Yeah, I'm gonna have some words with the ISPs here in Spain.
Okay, so yeah, you know, people have been criticized for less there, not having a stable internet connection. They're definitely messing with the wrong gal there. I wouldn't want to be on your to attack list, to talk to list in a bad way. That's not something that you should do. Anyways, though, we still only have the one kill in favor of Polaris, but while you weren't here, was discussing a little bit how much this puck is now struggling. He got pushed out of the lane as well, so the difference in net worth still isn't that huge. Rune on the bottom lane gonna be denied by Bombi. CML wanted to take it, so no arcane rune for anyone. In the end, it's gonna be fine, I guess, for the puck.
Yeah, at the very least, the puck is better at supporting rotations. The waves are out, you know, again, Dove, you can get a really good call off, but the problem is that right now, well, I wouldn't call it a problem, but like there are no dire waves going. Both of the side lanes are currently doing just fine, and I didn't call it winning.
That's
You
true.
just stay mid.
So, the biggest, actually not that big of a difference is even in the top lane. I thought Karma was having a really bad time, but actually Bok, even with 10 CS and getting that kill, he is not that far ahead of Karma. So the Nature's Prophet hasn't been shut down. Not a single core has been shut down. There is a slight lead for Polaris, but that's about it. The lanes are looking very much even. So we're gonna be getting into the early mid game without anyone having like a huge advantage, not even an advantage overall.
A level advantage on Tolo and a big one too. Bok is about to hit 6, and Karma is not even 5 yet.
That is true. That is true. The levels are gonna be making a difference, and there it is, level 6 Bog. There's gonna be a lot of spiders. These treants, they're not gonna be too happy. Akashi does get a kill on the bottom lane. We'll lose CML for it, so it's an even trade. Akashi does hit level 6 before the Primal Beast, but the difference in experience here on the bottom lane, it is definitely much smaller than on the top lane. He does pop his ulti, goes for Rupido, who will get the uproar off. So with the extra armor, you can't really be going for that kill, especially not under the tower. So Akashi will pull himself out for now.
God.
Okay, now we're gonna be seeing some moves in the mid. That's gonna be a kill. The puck dies from the tree throw. That's interesting. Thought he was definitely gonna be living through that one, but the damage from the Tiny is actually super strong. If he had gotten hit by the Fade Bolt maybe before using that one, we might have seen something different, but finds the haste, and this is gonna be a bonus kill. CML without any raindrops is not gonna be living through this one. Another Fade Bolt reduces his damage, but the Tiny is not done. He goes in on Jing. In 6 seconds he's gonna have another combo, so this could be another one for XERXIA. If Jing isn't careful, he does have the lift, so maybe he's baiting in the Tiny. You're not baiting too well because you're gonna die. No, he baits him in perfectly. He had the raindrop, and now the TP from the Tiny. It's not gonna be stopped. No coil, no way to stop JG from getting himself into the base, and in the end, it is gonna be the Tiny coming out as the big winner there.
Very, very nice for him. He is a lot more item dependent than his puck. He needs a Blade Dagger in order to get active, so him actually getting out, saving the money there is pretty huge.
Definitely it is. It is huge for the Tiny. He is gonna be very happy with it. He is definitely winning this mid lane. It is not even close for the puck. He went for the phase boost though. That's something I have to say I don't agree with. Whenever I see Tiny with the phase boots, it just unnecessarily delays the blink.
Yeah, I do, especially because I'm not entirely sure what you're supposed to be doing with extra armor in this game. Like, sure, both of the side lanes are physical damage for the most part, but you're not supposed to be standing and taking it. Like, the only lane where you're going to be standing is the mid one. And apart from that, you're just going to be dipping in and out.
Yeah, and the spiders are usually phased themselves, so you don't need it for that one. Maybe you don't want to be blocked by the by your own treants. Might be the case. But the smoke towards the bottom lane, they're going for the CK. Actually, already Rupido, he went for him, and Akashi is dropping low. He's not getting out of this one, is he? Yeah, he's definitely gonna be dying, especially with the Tiny coming over. It's just a matter of time before they bring him down. It is gonna be JG getting the kill with the Avalanche, which is again very, very beneficial for XERXIA. And this move is actually gonna land them a tower. Like, no way that is gonna be living. Meanwhile, top lane, they want Jaja, who does have the press the attack. He might be living for a little bit longer here, but in the end, he will be going down. Rubik, will he kill security? You're a Rubik player, of course you will. Of course you're gonna go for that one, and they do get the kill. So it seems like the towers will be traded in the end.
They will be, but you can see that at least Bok was annoyed by the presence of the LC there, and they did have to spend...
Did have to spend some time there to deal with him. It is a sub 1k gold lead, but XERXIA still doing well here at the start of the game, taking down a tower. JG getting towards his blink, considering that he already has phase boots. It is a really nice timing, and looking at the puck, he's not going to be matching this Tiny anytime soon.
Yep, and that's going to start being a problem. They were already kind of short on the Burge damage side, and now their puck also doesn't have game. Like, you're going to start feeling pressure on this DK to start contributing too soon.
Akashi really needs to step it up. He's gonna have an armlet soon, so is that the go-to item? Can a CK apply pressure with just the armlet, or is he gonna be needing something else? The coil gonna be used. The mid lane, Mortimer's Kiss is doing some damage, but here the puck is silenced. Yep, that blast off from the techies is just a big spell that the puck always has to be afraid of. One other reason maybe why the techies was such a good pick. Primal Beast smashes the Rubik into the ground with the pulverize. This Rubik is looking very dead. XERXIA are going in. They're gonna be sending the creep there. Go kill the Snapfire, and this creep, he is gonna be fulfilling his duty. He is not gonna be deserting the fight, but in the end he just wasn't strong enough.
Yeah, they just bring all of their cores and leave the LC on top. As much as the LC was underwhelming in the lane, I guess I still feel very confident playing the map with it like this, and that gets them the middle tower. That gets them a lot of space to run it even deeper. Look, they're just holding hands with the 3 cores right now.
Yep, and an Arcane Rune on the Tiny, so it wouldn't be hard to get kill after kill, okay? He pops the Arcane Rune, they're going for top, the duel was already used. They might not get the duel damage, but who cares? It's all about the kills. This is a support Legion Commander, and the bonus damage really won't be that useful, so very nicely done there. You're right, this LC is working out. Meanwhile, bottom lane, Rupido will be going down, so both of the offlaners lose their lives, but still, it is XERXIA being the faster one on the map, because they're the ones that are moving in right now again.
Yeah, and ultimately the Nature's Prophet hasn't suffered as much, so he's going to be on decent pace for his Gleipnir, and once that happens, it's just another thing for this puck to deal with. And he hasn't been having the greatest of times already. His LC is also halfway to blink if she wants that.
We'll see if he does. Avalanche Toss in the mid lane was used with the smoke, so Polaris are gonna know that something is up. They roughly know where the enemies are, and we can see that the CK is getting himself out of the jungle. Akashi going for an Echo Saber, so it's not gonna be a Blink or a BKB Echo. Is this the item with which you really step up on the gas? Because Akashi didn't really go in when he got the armlet, just continued farming.
Yeah, honestly, I think it's going to have to be this game. There are so many disables, and even there's a bunch of BKB piercing, right? But you're going to, at the very least, win a duel if it gets casted on you.
You definitely need that if you're to survive the tech. It's a problem. Mac, no, he has been silenced. He will be brought down. The duel might come out. No, they don't need it. They don't need the duel. Yeah, once the blast off connects, I just don't see the puck surviving. That's the thing. He's going for a Witchblade. He's gonna have that one, but it isn't really an item that's gonna keep you safe.
Absolutely not, but use is really just too slow, right? We used to see that on pucks a lot in the way back when. But with everybody having mobility, the lockdown isn't as good as it used to be, so it's not like you're creating opportunities with it, and then defensively, like, you're gonna run out of damage. Puck has been nerfed again and again and again and again. All the spell damage, all the cooldowns. Like,
For sure.
you need that Witchblade in order to contribute, and it means that you're fragile.
Yeah, he definitely is. It's going for a Sange after the Witchblade, so I guess that is nice to be able to phase shift when the Avalanche is on top of you. So that is okay. That will help, but I still think that Mac is ways away from that one.
Yeah, he is up shit creek right now. I'm not seeing paddles.
Yeah, it's looking grim. 4K gold lead for XERXIA. Was this the kind of start that we wanted for them? Is this a comfortable game now for XERXIA, or is it a pretty easy move forward? Okay, let's see. They're going for the CK. That's a big one. Akashi is gonna be fed a cookie, but it's just gonna be a last meal because these bombs are here. Actually, this is the inside of the duel. Tries to escape that one. Is not gonna be fighting till his death in the duel, but his death will come either way. And the Snapfire, who tried to help there, isn't gonna be coming out alive. Nice blink coming out from the Tiny, but he doesn't manage to get the toss. The rest of his teammates weren't close enough. He didn't have a target, and is actually gonna be giving an avalanche to the Rubik, which is actually a big spell to have.
Yep, it's a big spell to have, but in combination with who exactly? Like, this Broodmother is still not ready to fight with the team. The pipe is going out eventually, and Bok will have to start joining them because his team is just suffering for his absence. And Rupido is just on top of him again. He doesn't get a heavy enough push going on that top lane before all the cores of XERXIA are just off map again, and he has to back off.
That's true. It's just very hard for Bok to do much. Once he gets the pipe, can his spiderlings actually survive the overwhelming odds? Is this the item that changes something?
Honestly, in this game, when you well, the LC is working, and that's hard, right? We're all like, I'm not sure the LC will work. I'm sure that Bok thought the same. Like, it's support LC. What's the threat going to be? But even solo, if you get an Orchid in this game, maybe you can actually threaten him.
But he's not getting an Orchid. They don't kill Rupido. I thought Rupido was dead there for sure, and he uses the Guardian Greaves and survives. And now it's going to be a fight the other way around. JG, we all know how good Tiny is, chasing in, and we talked about the fights for XERXIA starting with them not getting a kill, but what happens if Polaris goes in and doesn't get a kill? They use the Cold, they use the Mortimer's Kisses, and the hero doesn't die. This is... You don't have much else to offer, really. This was 4 of your heroes. Your carry is farming, sure, but Akashi, it seems like his team, they need him. They desperately need him.
Yeah, this is buying space. Space comes at a premium right now. That is expensive. And that was on your pipe timing. He finishes the pipe, stand on top of him, and because pipe's not a damage item. Look at this. Spider immediately goes mid. He needs to be tanking a lot, like, you know, throwing heroes under the bus. Bok is stepping under the bus right now. It's like, all right, fine. I have a pipe. I'm going to be taking a couple for the team here, because otherwise CK never gets in. And CK is their only hope right now. It is a good matchup versus the NP. You can get a lot done with this hero.
Puck does dodge the initiation right now. That's gonna be nice for Polaris, because if he dies there, the follow-up might be swift. The bombs have been stolen by Rubik. That is a lot of damage. So you were missing some damage, but now that's definitely not gonna be the case. If someone gets caught, you're probably gonna be exploding.
That cast range on Rubik per the bombs makes so much difference.
Yeah. The bombs' names are Jing God. Did Bombi name his mines that way?
Yeah, I think so.
Has to be the case, right?
God. Are they Jing God for both of them?
No, it's proximity mine. No, only Jing. Okay, so I'm guessing it comes from your techies, that you named it because of the techies. Yeah,
that's very interesting.
Yeah. Yeah,
that's a pretty big brag as well.
True.
He named after himself.
Anyone who tries to disarm the mine, clicks on it, is gonna be finding out that Jing is actually a god. So it's that's it. So these bombs here around the map, they're an act of god, and they're also pretty big at taking down the tier 2, which is much needed for Polaris to open up the map. Speaking of, XERXIA already did that. They opened up the bottom part of the map. Now they take the outpost. We talked about vision for XERXIA. When you're this far ahead, you're never gonna have vision problems. Really, you don't need the vision hero for it. That's why this Tiny is just having a game of his life.
And he might just find Mac here again. Look at this. You know where he's gonna be.
Yeah, that's just way too easy when you have this nice ward in the enemy base. They even placed a sentry, but it didn't catch on that one. And the Puck now, he doesn't even know what to think. They caught him way too early when he's coming into the lane. They might even bring down some more sentries, and it is a question if you're going to be finding that ward inside of your base. So this is some really impressive gameplay coming out from XERXIA. Top lane, Rupido going for Bok. He doesn't have a BKB, so he doesn't want to commit. His ulti would have been cancelled immediately, but look at it there coming over Bok. You're not going anywhere. They've caught the spider and then squashed it quite easily. Snapfire trying to escape. JG, he used both of his spells onto the Brood Mother, so they won't be able to bring down the Grandma as well, but it doesn't matter. You got the core. You cleared out the top lane, and you walked into the Roche Pit with enemies having very little chances of defending it.
And we're talking about Jaja maybe going for a Blink Dagger because he was fairly patient. You could get good pulls off him, for example, the Puck, but he doesn't even feel it's necessary. His team has been such a good time finding the Puck, finding his engagements, that he's using defensive items. He's support LC and he's doing his duty.
And Akashi now, he has a blink. He doesn't have a BKB. Mortimer's Kiss is going to be used there. There's going to be a Guardian Grease protecting XERXIA. But these Mortimer's Kisses, their damage will be very underwhelming against the high HP targets on the side of XERXIA. So Polaris, they've lost their big team fight spell. Let's see now the bash onto the Primal Beast. They need the help of the Roche. Polaris, if they're going to win that one. But one of their assets, that Roche, is getting quite low. Jump in from Mac. He wants to go forward. Akashi goes in as well. Rupido taking some damage, but he's surviving. Beautiful jump in from the techies. The silences the stuns. He does have the shard. Akashi now, he joined the fight. He has farmed for this just to give all that gold back to the enemies, but he has created a space for his team to turn it around. And now the duel onto Bok, but he's gonna be surviving through this one. They want GG. They don't care about the LC. They want something bigger. Bombi standing his ground and shooting from the back. The mines are exploding. They left the Judge at live. They have the dust. They're gonna be able to take him down. The Glimmer Cape is not gonna be helping you. Rupido gets to the high ground. The buybacks are coming in. They understand this Roche. This is their time to possibly win the game. Auto Stone is gonna be the toss for the Rubik, but the Tiny's still alive. Puck, he gets himself away. Did get their orb out before the toss. Beautifully done from the Puck, and a beautiful fight from Polaris overall. XERXIA, they will need a ton of buybacks to actually get this Roche too, to be exact, and it's still not certain that the Roche will fall now.
Yeah, as much as it felt like the Mortimer Kisses were wasted there, the fact that everybody on XERXIA was on half health before going in there meant that Rupido couldn't actually stick on his targets there. Falls too early, gets forced to buy back. They chase the Puck down too, but he doesn't actually die. And now you get to redo this fight. Akashi's back.
Here's XERXIA. They're gonna go for a smoke. What kind of vision do they have? They don't see anything in the enemy triangle. They just saw the Puck in the mid lane though. But Bok is in a position to break their smoke. He's the hardest target to bring down because of the pipe. He's gonna break that one. They're gonna jump on him. Oh, the avalanche and the toss back. Jumping in into the backline. The BKB from Karma going in. But Rupido is going down. That's a dieback. They did lose the Snapfire. They might lose Bok as well. Going around the trees. He's being hit by the techies. But in the end, he will explode. He gets into a trap. Akashi found the techies. Pull him down. Stun him up, and he is dead. It is gonna be 2 heroes dead on XERXIA. These two do not have buyback, and with the Snapfire, maybe, just maybe, Polaris can get this Roche and win the game for themselves. XERXIA, they have been winning this game for 23 minutes. Losing the Roche right now in this kind of scenario, it is definitely not ideal. They're gonna do their best. They still have buybacks on both Karma and JG.
And I bet XERXIA wish they had that BKB on that Tiny right now. That would be such a difference maker. They do not, and now it's about this jump.
Akashi is getting low. Needs to be careful. Avalanche and Toskin. He's gonna lift from the Rubik. He was waiting. He knew you were coming, and now have the rocks in your face. The Glimmer Cape is not gonna be saving you, but the Roche, he dies. It is gonna be the stolen Aegis. Karma, he couldn't even attack Roche there. Aegis out of the pit, taken out. Now it's gonna be the duel onto the Puck. A beautiful cookie. You're gonna give that Aegis back immediately. You are not the immortal one. Karma, no BKB. Probably no way to get out of this one. He's gonna go in with the Gleipnir, but he has been called. JG does my back. Force stab being used onto the high ground. The spider will find him. It is going to be Mac going down with the buyback of JG, but it doesn't matter. The damage has been done. Bok, he might want to get out of this one. The mines are going to start exploding, and they hurt quite a lot. CML, though, he doesn't have the HP of the Broodmother. Staying on top of the hill, doesn't have a TP. Bok needs to find a way to get out of this one. He's running away. Please don't kill me. No one is going to listen to you. Everybody hates spiders and wants to see them squashed. In the end, XERXIA clean up the fight, but Polaris are still gonna be happy. That's another buyback that they forced out.
It's another buyback that they forced out. They might have lost Aegis, which slows their own game down a lot, but XERXIA loses it immediately as well. And I'm honestly not sure who came out as a winner there. Like, I think it was us. Just that we got to steal like a 3-minute brawl, but both Polaris and XERXIA are probably going to be like, well, let's pretend that didn't happen. Are we?
Pretty much, you know, when you see fighting sports and then at the end of the fight they're both bruised and destroyed, broken, and someone like they lift his arm. No, man, he didn't win. The viewers won because they saw that brawl. Like that guy, he doesn't feel like a winner now because everything hurts. XERXIA, everything hurts, but they still retain their gold lead. They're 7k gold ahead. The problem for me now for that XERXIA is gonna be facing is the BKB on Akashi. He's gonna have it in 400 gold. And Bombi is looking very much dead.
Mac finally getting back into the game. I mean, we were saying before, like, this could be a good Puck game if they don't find him. And maybe we're going back to the LC, aren't we? Maybe LC now regretting not going for that blink dagger. I don't know, but how strong is it when Jing is got that lift at ready? He's got the avalanche stolen as well. It's so hard to engage into this Rubik and this puck. Which one of the two pick?
Huh? That's true. It's very hard to jump in from the tiny, but he will have that BKB now. So JG did finish it off. We'll see. Though yesterday. Oh yeah, let's see if he gets caught. Though he might have to use that BKB that he just bought. 9-second BKB down the drain. If he gets coiled now, Mac doesn't have it. Okay, he's out. Yesterday I saw a Reddit post. You should BKB first and then jump in, not jump in and then use BKB. What the hell are you doing? And yeah, you know that really is true for some situations.
But the greed, man. What if I can half a second? What if I can count on them just not reacting fast enough?
I think JG was counting on that one when he jumped on the CK, but Jing is a god, as his minds say.
As
when he
foretold.
takes them. That is
he warned
true.
us.
Imagine you're like cleaning out a area of mines in the real world, and then you're coming to it. You need to defuse it, and it says some name and then is God. I would actually not dispute it at that moment for sure.
Oh no, I would rather be wearing my brown point pants at that point.
Yeah, that's true. So, XERXIA still hold the lead, but they don't have that added vision any longer. They will, however, go for a smoke and into territory that they see because of the treants, but they don't see a lot of it. So, do you invade the triangle? Do you feel confident enough?
You got the tiny BKB, and you're smoking here on Rubido's BKB as well.
Oh, jump in from Mac. He doesn't have too much mana. This puck, he is alive, man. But that was weird. He did have an orb back. CML trying to get out. Does have the glimmer cape, but JG is not letting this one go. Look, juke around the tree. CML, he's a genius. Yeah, that doesn't matter. It was fun.
That was a smooth slide to the side.
Yeah.
But yeah, Mac was even smoother though. This is exactly why you throw that orb back and look really suspicious, like 3 out of 4 times, and then the 4th time you do this.
That is true. I got scared there for a second. I didn't see he used the orb, and then when he got out, oh, jump in from JG. The lift up this time around not gonna be as fast, and Bok loses his life. That's your tanky hero. Didn't look that way though. JG with the BKB going forward. You like lifting me? Lift me now. Well, too heavy. This tiny will be for the Rubik. Rupido getting out. He is gonna be, the stun is gonna be removed. That should have been a 4-second stun. Akashi, he can't even move away from the sprouts. What's with the trees? He doesn't like nature any longer for sure. The puck trying to get out of that one. He's gonna get to the orb, but Rupido with the BKB is pretty much untouchable. Still has the guardian grips. His teammates are leaving him. Like, where are my teammates? What's happening? You don't need our help. You are too strong, and the enemy's weak. Polaris, they cannot hold their ground now against XERXIA when JG has a BKB.
I mean, their heroes couldn't hold the ground, but at the very least, it did force XERXIA to back off of that high ground again. Creep wave has been cleared out. All of the BKBs have been spent over on XERXIA. So they're going to have to wait for another pick-off in another round. And I do think that this is going to be the name of the game.
Yeah, let's see if it's gonna... The name of the game was let's go aggressive, but you made the mistake. You ran into the enemies. They were ready for you. They were ready to crush. And Polaris, exactly what's gonna be happening to them. They get crushed. All of them, 2 of the cores down. The rest of them aren't really all that important. The puck and the CK, they should be winning the game for you when they're dead. It's just impossible to do. These are buybacks forced out, or maybe even Raxes.
That was just too casual. That's exactly the kind of kills that XERXIA wants. And we've been talking about their initiation problem. There's absolutely none of that if you just walk into them.
Yep. No problem with vision when we are going on their LC, which isn't an easy hero to bring down. Does have the glimmer cape, does have the press the attack. Actually staying with the eye of the vizier. Not the smartest of heroes, but overall that now has the range and doesn't really need all that much mana overall.
No, she has 40 jewel damage now. Both of the jewels have been won in the last 3 minutes.
Yep.
First jewel wins of the game.
Yeah, you see, Jing is joining onto the cast as coincidence. I think not. And XERXIA, they do get 2 Raxes down. If they win this game, they're not gonna be losing the series, meaning that them losing a couple of days ago, they've already made sure that in this series they are not gonna be the losers they were 3 days ago there against Polaris, who go for a smoke yet again. Staying in the base isn't gonna do much for you.
No, but they gotta be more careful with their outings, because the last time they paused losing all those base buildings. So yeah, they're holding hands now, grouping around their vision in the triangle, making sure that their tiny rotation won't catch them off guard. And they're really just looking towards Akashi right now. He's going to be working on a heart. He is extremely tanky, but the question to me is he going to be dealing enough damage to actually be worth focusing down? Because Xerx has so many options to just work around him, leash him, sprout him, and kill everybody else.
I'm kind of looking at the lead that XERXIA currently have, and I'm thinking that he can have a heart, the full one, at this moment, and he's still not going to be tanky enough that they can't kill him.
Yeah.
That's how it feels.
I'm afraid I'm going to have to agree with you there.
Avalanche toss, Puck gets low, Puck gets taken down, Bombi. It just brings the explosion. Snapfire turns around, kill him with kindness. That's what he tried to do, but it doesn't work here. The kisses, they just enjoy them. They embrace them as they're bringing down the last outer tower. Bach has been caught. He's gonna be tossed in, jeweled up, and he's gonna have to fight until his own death. And that is gonna be the 3rd duel victory for the LC. There were some people that were questioning the position 5 LC, but they are gonna be awfully silent now.
Oh yeah, I bet. It must be really foolish to not know about the position 5 LC brood counter.
Yep. I have no idea what they're talking about, but they're not going to be awfully silent because we're going to continue talking. The Broodmother leash does get herself out of that one. The Sprout cannot hold in a spider easily, just moves around those, but it doesn't matter because everything is dropping down. How are you going to deal with the toss back? He's still leashed, gets out again very easily. Polaris going to be used onto the Rubik, and Jing is looking like a dead man. Nope, actually Glimmer Cape will be protecting him, but who is protecting the Raxes? Who is protecting the base? Who is protecting the house? Nice jump in from Bombi, and now the airstrike has come in and the bombs will be laid onto Polaris. Bach looking very much dead. There is going to be a nice call onto a lot of them. Yep, that's the 4th one in a row. 80 dual damage on him. JG right in front of the fountain, positioning himself. You cannot go through this wall. Karma is going to get pulled into the fountain. The question is, do you even kill him? Okay, yes you do. That was a toss from JG. He is the one that actually comes up with the idea there to leave his buddy there in that place so that he goes down. And Polaris, they might be happy with taking down the enemy carry, but in the end it is still gonna be a loss for Polaris.
Yep, and a lot of credit has to be given to the Tiny here for his performance. That was we knew he was most likely going to be winning the lane up versus that Puck, but then you have to keep the momentum going. You have to get that Blink Dagger at a good enough time. You have to have your rotations in order to make sure that the Puck doesn't outdo you there with like the superior catch. And as it turns out, this Puck couldn't get play until it was basically already too late. Polaris got a couple of plays in during the later mid game, but ultimately XERXIA had the entire art of picking fights in their pocket, and I'm really quite impressed with that.
Definitely we're on point. JG for me the MVP. I mean, when we look at 12 minutes, 12:30, when he got the Blink Dagger, he was 5-0 before the Blink, and Puck was 0-2. I mean, that is a difference that I don't think you can ever kind of equalize, not properly. Of course, there could be a ton of kills happening on the Tiny, but in this game it was just not possible. He died the first time pretty much 25 minutes into the game. So game 2, are we gonna see a Brood? If we see a Brood, are we gonna see a 5 LC?
I'd say yes to the last one, but I can't imagine that Bok wants to play like this again. Absolutely not, because he just gets slowed down by a hero who doesn't contribute anything else. Like, the only purpose of the LC is to step on the spider. He keeps on doing that, and he can't even go for dives on that hero because the support will just be coming in. He'll get jeweled and he'll die. It's the perfect solution.
That is true. But with that being said, guys, we are gonna be going on to a very short break. The lobby is ready, the players are getting ready, and we are gonna be jumping in to game number 2 of Polaris versus XERXIA after just 10 minutes. So be sure to stay with us.